Welcome to Mini-mix Memoirs, where I revisit how I fell in love with my favorite musicians, with the goal of helping you learn about music that may be new to you, even if the artist isn't. I'm James Easdale. In this episode, we're discussing Angel Olsen. I first took note of Angel Olsen through her background vocals on Bonnie Prince Billy's 2011 single, Quail and Dumplings. She has an intense vocal solo on the bridge of the song. Not only is it the functional peak of the song, her vocal makes it the best part of the song. I imagine I was not the only person looking up who she was. At that point, I found her name, but didn't find any releases to her credit. She had released the 2010 EP Strange Cacti on cassette, but I did not discover that until later. In 2012, she appeared on Bonnie Prince Billy's Now Here's My Plan EP. The songs consisted of updated versions of older Bonnie Prince Billy songs, including an excellent reimagining of his 2003 song, Three Questions. Again, what makes the song stand out is Angel Olsen. She gets a verse to herself. Her powerful yet wavering vocal still gives me chills. Later that year, I learned she was releasing her first album, Halfway Home. The album delivered on the promise of her appearances on those Bonnie Prince Billy tracks. It was a very intriguing debut. When you heard it, you knew she was a rising star to follow. Her vocal and songwriting talent were undeniable. I knew it would be fun to watch her career develop over the coming years. A favorite track of mine was the Buddy Holly influenced track, Free. In 2014, she released High Five, the second single off her second album, Burn Your Fire for No Witness. My first impression of this track was her increased confidence. This was her chance to break through as an essential part of the 2010s indie music scene, and she met the moment. A heavier arrangement than anything from her debut, but not heavy-handed. Her voice was still allowed to be the center of attention, but the guitars were allowed to be a little crunchy. She seemed to be discovering new ways to work attitude into her singing. Expectations for the album were high. When Burn Your Fire for No Witness came out, it exceeded those expectations. She'd emerged as an elite songwriter. Songs like Lights Out, Dance Slow Decades, and Windows are all standouts. Lights Out was the song where I realized she'd started writing songs to match the quality of her singing, and she did it with each song on the album. By this point, she'd established herself as one of my favorite artists. 2016 seemed to come around pretty quickly. By mid-year, she was rolling out tracks for her next album. Intern introduced synths for the first time. Shut Up, Kiss Me, It's Alright showed potential for mainstream appeal. Then she released Sister, one of her masterpieces. Reviews around the time accurately described the song as an epiphany. In my opinion, a candidate for Song of the Decade. One of the era's best songwriters fully tapping into her potential. The album, My Woman, was also excellent. Never Be Mine, Heart-Shaped Face, and Woman are also among my favorites. A solid debut, followed by two great albums. What would she do next? Well, first a compilation album of B-sides called Phases 2017. As expected, not of the quality of her proper albums, but still, a great songwriter's second-tier songs are better than most songwriters' top-tier tracks. There are several great songs, including Only With You and All Right Now. In 2019, Angel released All Mirrors, notably produced by John Congleton. A significant expansion of her sound, she managed to exceed my expectations again. More synth, strings, and a heavier feel. It also includes her best collection of songs. My favorite tracks are New Love Cassette, Spring, Summer, and Chance. While I refer to this as my favorite collection of her songs, I don't refer to it as her best album. The only reason for this? While I love the elaborate arrangements and the wall of sound style production, by the end of the album, I feel overwhelmed by the lack of space in the songs. This doesn't impact my love for the album. I'm not knocking the production at all. I love John Congleton's work. It simply means it is my second favorite album of hers. Discussion on my favorite is yet to come. Before starting the process for her next album, Angel released an album of alternate versions of the songs from tracks. The bare bones sounds of the version of Lark, called Lark Song on this release, puts even more focus on her powerful vocal delivery. The album, which was called Whole New Mess, works as a sort of what if alternate universe album, where she opted to tone down the production and deliver the songs in a more straightforward way. Clearly, I prefer the original album, but this release is worth your time. I also love the previously unreleased track, Waving, Smiling. In mid-2022, Angel Olsen released my favorite album of hers up to this point. A little aside here, but each new album of hers has become my favorite. She's improved with each release. During the release cycle for the new album, Big Time, I remember a couple articles in the music press referring to the album as Angel Olsen Going Country. While I concede the album sounds more Nashville than prior releases, this was hardly a left turn for Angel. Country was always a heavy influence on her music. Still, this is more Americana than country. If country is a bad word for you, don't let that keep you from this record. Big Time is not only my favorite Angel Olsen album, but the album opener, All the Good Times, might be my favorite song, possibly in a tie with Sister. The song's the perfect fusion of all the elements that make her one of my favorites. Great singing, great songwriting, great instrumentation, and a gorgeous arrangement with horns, keys, specifically organ, and lap steel, making the song sound like a long-lost classic from the 60s. Other songs on the album, like All the Flowers and Right Now, rank among my favorites as well. Another good song from the album is Dream Thing, which, with its direct reference to the song Black Captain, seems to be about her time recording and touring with Bonnie Prince Billy. We've managed to cover all of Angel's proper album releases. As always, I'm looking forward to whatever she does next. However, I'd be doing her a disservice by not mentioning some of her between album projects. True Blue, 2019, was her contribution to Mark Ronson's album of sad bangers, and it has her dabbling in ABBA-inspired disco pop. Hopefully, she has a full disco pop album in her future. Check it out. Her duet, Like I Used to, 2021, with Sharon Van Etten is another can't miss. She also has an EP of 80s covers, Isles, 2021. I love her cover of Orchestral Maneuvers in the Darks, If You Leave. In 2024, she released an album showcasing songs by lesser-known artists. The albums feature The album features those artists performing one of their own songs and Angel Olsen covering another of their songs. My favorite is her haunting cover of Poppy Jean Crawford's The Takeover. I hope this has given you a good entry point into Angel Olsen's music. Check out the playlist I've linked, and then check out her full discography. Note, I've linked both a Spotify playlist of Angel's music as well as an Amazon playlist. The Amazon playlist includes the Bonnie Prince Billy songs referenced in this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for listening.